From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
What's up, world? It's the one and only Pop DBICD Primetime Capper, and it is time for the premier sports betting show, the Primetime Angles Live. And I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. I hope you're feeling the same. Yes, we did not have a show yesterday. It was Labor Day. And, a lot of the games went on early and stuff. So I just said, why don't we just go ahead and take a little break tomorrow? Jeff wasn't available either. So pretty much I just went ahead and took the day off, recharged the batteries and everything like that. We'll be in Vegas this weekend as well, too, for the opening weekend for the NFL. Jeff will be out there as well. So it should be some pretty good stuff going on there. Hopefully, we'll go ahead and pick some winners and cash some nice little tickets and everything like that as well, too. But that is going to be the weekend for me. But we have a bunch of things to talk about today. And up first, we do have an awesome win yesterday for the UCLA Bruins. They were able to get Chip Kelly his signature win that he needs to go ahead and suffice his resume, his contract, everything at Westwood, because it's been an absolute just storm. I don't want to say the word that carries it on to it because, I try to keep this family friendly and everything like that. But, it's not been some really good years for UCLA the last few. But Chip Kelly was able to get a monster win to start the season off against Hawaii. That was a win that a lot of people felt like maybe UCLA would probably come out the gate kind of, they would win, but they probably wouldn't cover, but they covered like a big dog in that game. And then they come back the next week and pop off the upset special. This used to be a game that teams from back east, Midwest dreaded if they scheduled UCLA for the Rose Bowl game, because usually the Rose Bowl game will be a sellout with a whole bunch of UCLA fans, and they'll bring about 30,000 of their own fans as well to the stadium. And this one was right up to tradition with UCLA. This is coming from a guy who grew up in the city of Pasadena, so I understand exactly what was on the table here. And you just had that feeling that UCLA was going to get themselves a monster win. LSU is kind of a down team right now, and the UCLA took advantage of it. I told somebody the other day, I said, they're only a down team is when you can take advantage of them. Now, UCLA is not seen as a good team anymore. So, LSU saw this as West Coast tune up, a good game for their fans to enjoy the California, why, you got all the issues going on in Louisiana, everything like that with the hurricanes and stuff, but not so fast. Chip Kelly goes ahead and he has his guys in place, the guys that he's recruited now. This isn't the last regime's roster. A lot of guys left that team as well, too. And a lot of those guys just weren't up to being great. They were so settled in on being mediocre. So, Chip Kelly, now he has his team in place. Now he has a great sponsor and Jordan Brand as well, too. This UCLA is a whole new flavor, a whole new look now with Jordan Brand now in partnership with them and everything like that. So, yeah, at the end of the day, big win for UCLA here. They move on to next week. And, it's one game at a time with UCLA. I wouldn't be handing them the Pac-12 championship as of yet if they haven't played USC. You know what I mean? If they haven't played the Oregons of the world, if they haven't played even Arizona States of the world, you got to understand that UCLA is a team that is always open to upset. That's why I would say I wouldn't invest so highly in them, but I do like what I see with UCLA right now. I think that it's going to be a good year for them, but I would say take it 1 week at a time. That's exactly what you need to do, is take it 1 week at a time with UCLA and go from there. That's my best advice for that situation right there. So there it is. Chip Kelly gets his signature win, and now you see, there is no more questioning Chip and seeing if he still got it. Yes, he still has it when he has the right roster. So we move forward in Bama. Oh, Bama did what they always do on opening weekend, and that's just destroy a team. And this year's victim was the Miami Hurricanes, who felt that the U would be back. The U would be back to being what the U is, and Michael Irvin's gonna walk through that door, and they're gonna just kill. Vinny Testaverde at quarterback. They're just gonna kill it. Jim Kelly, all these guys in their prime. Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy Johnson comes in the time machine. He comes to coach's team. None of that is happening right now. They got a team that has to build into being the U. You know what I mean? Because Diaz, I still am not sold on that coach, but he's a young coach that understands exactly how to recruit to the University of Miami as well too. But Miami was it was a different league Saturday, man, playing against Alabama at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Alabama is an absolute monster. They've beaten up on teams that are top 10 ranked as well too. So don't take it no way. This is this is always their kickoff game to show how much that they are leagues ahead of the rest of the NCAA. And I hate to talk like this because no team should be that much better than everybody else in college, but they just are. And it's not because how they recruit, because everybody recruits some big time players to come in every year. But these guys get the players that fit their system, and then they get guys that are tough, like really tough. You know what I mean? Like Bama actually has guys getting hurt in practices and things like that. And that's something that's kind of dangerous. But at the end of the day, though, you see what teams more prepared for these big games, and you see what teams aren't prepared for these big games. And Alabama seems to always be prepared for the moment, and they just pretty much finished up. They pretty much just started where they left off at in the national championship game last year, and they took advantage of a Miami team that did do well last year, but they just are not ready for an Alabama. That's all it is. They talked some trash before the game as well too. They gave them some motivation on the big board. So hey, at the end of the day, it is what it is, and a big win for Alabama. And moving forward, this is the best team in the nation right now, and we all know this. And at some point, somebody might be able to, you know, make it a game with them. We're hoping that Auburn might be in for it this year. And then, you still do have some good teams there down the road there in the SEC, because the SEC always is filling itself. But I still think that this might be a down year for the SEC as well too. But I think though, with such a dominant team like Alabama, they're still going to get the rave reviews that they get every single week. So pretty much a good win for Alabama. Alabama hasn't hasn't missed a step, and didn't lose a step. So that's some big stuff there for Alabama fans. I know they're very, very, very excited about maybe winning another national championship this year, going back to back. Hey, back to back. They might be had to become the 33rd franchise in the NFL as well too. I don't know, but pretty much they are becoming like a good minor league feeder system for the rest of the NFL. But all in all, though, let's go ahead and get into it. We got our next topic is going to be Tyrod Taylor named the starter of the Texans this week, and Tyrod Taylor is deservingly so, gets the job. And pretty much they just don't want to press it with Deshaun. They're just waiting for Deshaun's situation to kind of clean itself up a little bit. And then I think by the time we get to at least week 4, he will be off their roster, and they'll probably be bringing in a first round draft pick or something of that nature. If it's to Miami, most likely it'll be Tua, because you can't have a superstar quarterback with a developing quarterback. It just doesn't make any sense at all. And I think at the end of the day, Houston wouldn't mind taking on, the young boy from Alabama and, kind of taking their time a little bit. But I don't want to jump to conclusions with the situation with Deshaun and everything like that. Right now, Tyrod Taylor is the starter. Quite possibly next week, Deshaun Watson can be their starter as well, too, if they can everybody comes to their senses in a sense, you know what I mean? But right now, you know why I like the fact that they named Tyrod Taylor the starter of this team? I like the fact that pretty much, when it comes down to it, I'm going to answer this question real quick. The cases that he has, none of them are going to trial like that. So pretty much it's a he said, she said situation. And pretty much Deshaun Watson's in the middle of that. So I think that he'll be fine at the end of the day because everything's going to clean itself up because people are starting to be seen as just folks looking for money. And I think that a lot of us jump to the conclusions that, okay, his career is over, but we still do have to go ahead and fact check the situation and everything like that. And, none of us were there for this. And I'm thinking to myself, at the end of the day, all these women are asking for a certain amount of money. I think that if they just go ahead and find the number, they should be fine. But some of these cases are going to start getting dismissed as well, too, because there is no validity to them as well, too. And a lot of us, we don't know what the situation is because this is a situation that's being handled by the city police and everything of that nature. So pretty much they're not going to, this is one of those hush hush situations because everybody's well paid to not say anything right now. So pretty much when it comes down to it, I think that he'll be back in the NFL, but he won't be on the Texans. And thanks for the question as well, too, Anthony. I truly do appreciate that as well, too, sir. So pretty much that's it with the Texans and everything like that. I don't like to put my Stephen A hat on and all that good stuff because, I just like to be me, original and things like that. I try to keep up with the bets and things of that nature. But I know Tyrod Taylor makes me a lot more comfortable with the Texans coming up on Sunday. That's all I can say for the bettors and everything like that. But I got some more information on this as well. But you guys need to make sure you tune in tomorrow for the NFL Bet Exchange, which will be, starting off its second season. And it looks like we'll be doing Thursdays around 11 or so, or maybe 10 a.m. Pacific time. So for you guys, so we can have a fresh look at, a look at a game that's not too far away. We don't want to sit up in here and spend all week. We used to do the show on Tuesdays because we used to have to release the show on Thursdays, and that used to kind of kill it a little bit. So pretty much I want to make sure that we're right where the lines are at and everything like that, and we can make ourselves and come out with a very good product and everything like that. So you guys make sure to tune in for that tomorrow so you guys don't miss out on your money come Sunday and everything like that. I got some good plays for you too as well. So you guys be ready for that. And then also, I'll be back with the Sunday morning chat with you guys on Sundays and everything like that. The Sunday NFL tickets and everything like that. The late ticket, the early ticket, fantasy football and everything like that. So pretty much you guys be on the lookout for the Sunday show on IG. And it will be back on IG. And I'm thinking about going ahead and doing the IG and then putting it on going ahead and putting it on this for viewers to watch it and everything like that as well too. So we'll see how it goes, man. We'll see if everything works out then the right way for us. So there it is. So pretty much with that, we're going to be right back with the premier sports betting show, the Primetime Angles Live with the one and only Pop DBICD Primetime Capper, and I'll be right back at you.
Now you and your friends can compete in the sport of kings and win big with Stable Duel. Get the app, pick your horses, and get in on the thrill of horse racing with daily games competing against other players. Bring home the glory and the cash and move up the annual leaderboard while you leave your competition in the dust. Get in the game with Stable Duel. Play, race, win.
Good News Only Racing Club, led by the legendary Doug O'Neill, the trainer of 2 Kentucky Derby winners, and I'll have another in Nyquist. Also trained 2-time Breeders' Cup champ Golden Sense, who are just a part of a long list of thoroughbred champions trained by Doug O'Neill. The Good News Only Racing Club has a young core of horses to look out for in Dennis's Celery, Irish Heatwave, and Notre Dame, just to name a few. Win the day every day with the Good News Only Racing Club, a proud sponsor of the NFL Bet Exchange.
All right, we're back with Blue Crew Daily, and the Dodgers did not win their series this weekend, but the whole world should know that if they watch baseball, that the Dodgers did drop 2 out of 3, and only fell a half game out of first place. So, it's all good at the end of the day. The Dodgers, pretty much went up to San Francisco, lost the season series as well, too. So everything has to kind of fall in place in a certain way. So if they finish in an absolute tie, deadlock, the Giants will be the team that would advance as the Western champions, but the Dodgers still would be the wild card. Right now, it's just magic numbers with both of these teams, and I truly do still think that this one is still up for grabs. This really doesn't weigh any factors onto what's going on moving forward. You know what I mean? Because pretty much the Dodgers are a full game behind, but I would think that, with the way that the MLB works, the Dodgers will have the opportunity to take over first place. And I think that they put a little bit too much pressure on themselves on Sunday as well, too, because that game wound up not going in their favor. So pretty much, they're wearing the all blue jerseys. They're trying to look real cute for ESPN and everything like that. So I think the focus kind of went away on what the task at hand was. It's kind of like we want to be looking good instead of winning this game. Pretty much it is what it is at the end of the day. This team just does what they do. You know what I mean? And they're gonna be a machine. They're gonna be right there when you need them to be there. And I think that a lot of people have to just understand that. The Giants had home field advantage. They had a lot of things working in their favor this weekend, and there's no excuse for that. But I think still you have to kind of think about it in the sense that, hey, the Dodgers, hey, they've been here, done that. They've been in this scenario before. It comes down to this is when baseball gets really tough. The last 2 weeks of the season, you got teams that want to rest people for the playoffs. You got other teams that want to rest players for the next season or rest these players so then they can get the right type of assets for them when they move them to the next team. And then they did do guys a favor as well, too. There's guys that are pending about to be big free agents that will be exiting, so they do them a favor by not playing them and making sure they can get paid at the next destination. Some teams do this, but pretty much if I was a manager, everybody got to play. But you know what? If you're not feeling it, if you're not feeling well, though, you shouldn't force it. But all in all, though, the Dodgers are in a situation, man, where everything lies on how well they want to go ahead and finish this thing, man. They're a game behind. Isn't a big deal at all, and pretty much you got a Giants team that's just kind of hanging on the threads right now. And they got a good series out of last weekend, but they can't think that this is already over because there's nowhere near being over. So we'll see how it goes. The Dodgers got another game against St. Louis tonight. San Francisco's playing against Colorado and Denver tonight. So once again, all eyes will be on those two games to see exactly if there's going to be some movement going on here in the West, y'all. All right, so we move forward and we have ourselves another very, very fun 6 games here for the preview. And first we have the Blue Jays and the Yankees. The Blue Jays coming into this game. They're playing pretty good baseball at this point, but Toronto is third. They're 3 games back right now. They've won their last 8 out of 10 as well, too. They beat the Yankees yesterday, 8-0. The Yankees got to kind of stop messing around a little bit and get to the point because they're only a half game up on Boston. So they want to make sure that they make some noise here because quiet is kept right now. They are actually dropped their last 7 out of 10 after winning 13 in a row. So now Boston is kind of caught up a little bit. Boston has more wins, but they have 2 more losses than the Yankees as well, too. So they get the half a game situation because they don't have as many games as the Red Sox. But you got the Blue Jays just chomping at the bit right now. And then you got Seattle, who's 75-63 at this point, winners of their last 6 out of 10, trying to get some good wins over the Astros, who they're not that far behind of with only 5. They're only losing by 5.5 games to them. And they're ahead of Oakland right now as well, too. So this is a good little look for Seattle, who might make a little run here at the end of the year to try to get into the playoffs. So there's a big there's not that much of a gap between 3, 4, and 5 when it comes to the wild card race. But you do have a Yankees Boston big game brewing. But I think one of these teams is actually going to fall off, to be honest with you, because the thing is, the Yankees seem like they're not playing their best ball right now. They just got done playing their best ball, and it's hard to get all that back. And Boston just went through such a rough patch, and now they're playing much better baseball. So pretty much when you look at this situation, you say to yourself, just be ready for another war between the Bronx Bombers and the Red Sox. But when you talk about this game, you say to yourself, you have yourself a very good pitcher in Jared Cole here, who's the man for the Yankees. He's 215 strikeouts over 32 walks, 2.73 ERA this year, 14-6 going against Steven Matz, who's one of their better pitchers as well, too. 116 over 36 right now. But I still think what happens here is that the Blue Jays keep this game close. The Yankees could win, but the game stays close, though. I just think because the way that the Blue Jays are playing right now, they're playing all-in ball. So when you all in, it's tough to beat. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out. We move from there. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the Phillies and the Brewers. The Phillies and the Brewers have a very even matchup today. And the Phillies and Brewers coming into this one, you got Aaron Nola pitching for the Phillies. You got Eric Lauer pitching for the Brewers. Lauer is 86 over 32, 4-5 on the year, 3.43 ERA. So, as you know, guys, when I see this just means that this guy's not getting as much. He's not getting as much run support as he should. Then Aaron Nola, who's the ace of the staff, had his worst outing yet. He gave 6 runs in his last outing, and that he yielded 2 walks. 5 strikeouts as well, too. But those 6 runs were huge because literally he pretty much no decision that game, but he only went 4 innings in that game. And he's been getting hit pretty hard the last few games as well, too. He's given up over his last 4 starts. He's given up 17 hits. So when you do the average on that, it does seem like it's not that much. But if you look at it, it's 2 multiple 6-hit games in this 2 6-hit games in that stretch, and then it yielded a nice amount of runs as well too. But all in all, though, Nola's been in some no decisions the last few games, so that's why his ERA is still decent. But he's still a threat. He's somebody that they do look upon to get a big win for him. Now you got Lauer, who came in and did very well against San Francisco last week, pitched himself a gem. But they lost that game. It looks like they lost that game in the end. But actually, no, they lost the game to Minnesota that he pitched prior to that. But he's been good, though, this year. He went 7 innings in his last game after going only 4 innings in his 3 previous starts. So today, if he doesn't get hit too hard and he keeps managing the game, then he should be good. But this one will be a thriller, in my opinion. And I think that, these guys been getting hit, but this is a very important game for both sides. The Brewers are still chasing the best record in the NL as well, too. And then you got the Phillies chasing the NL East pennant back and forth with the Braves. So it's going to be one of the better games of the night. 110 split, over under 8.5. I say scoreboard watch. All right, we move on to our next game. It's going to be another really good one, Reds-Cubs, a divisional game. We all know that the Cubs are getting ready for Tahiti. Tulum, all that good stuff. They getting ready for vacation. And, but all in all, though, they do have a game at Wrigley, and they do like to win at Wrigley. They do like to show up at least. They got Adrian Sampson on the mound, who's 1.59 ERA, 11 strikeouts over 2 walks. He was a part of the Rangers squad, but he's been coming in lately. He's pitched 3.1 innings last time out. Struck out 4 on September 2nd. He comes back today on the 8th to go ahead and try to get that ERA down some more because he's pitched very well in the outings that he did come into as well too. And pretty much he tried to survive the White Sox, but he was pitching well against the White Sox, but things kind of fell apart in that game for that team. So all in all, he's on 1 on the year, but he's good. He hasn't got that many innings pitched, but he's been good, and he was a big prospect with the Cubs, with the Rangers as well too. He was a part of that big deal that occurred earlier this, a few weeks back and everything like that. So Adrian Sampson, pretty good pitcher here. Then you have two teams that's kind of low risk, low reward when it comes to hitting right now. The Reds are a much better hitting team. And to be honest with you, they're a top 10 team. But then you have the Rangers, the Cubs, who are ninth in home runs. But other than that, their best stat other than that is slugging percentage. But their batting average is one of the worst in the league as well, too. So, there's a lot of things that you look at here. But I think that you could play the over in this spot as well, too. So, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out. The over was the play last. Sometimes I see pitchers that the over just be calling for him. And he's not going to pitch a lot of innings tonight. So, that's why I like the over in this spot, scoreboard watching, and we move forward from there. Now we got the White Sox at the A's. This is going to be another very, very important game for both of these teams. You have the White Sox, who are in first place and literally running away with it in the AL Central. Then you have the A's, who are now have company with the Seattle Mariners here, and they've been chasing the Astros for months now. And it seems like that now, if it's not one thing, it's another for the A's, because it seems like that they want to make that move to, get that wild card spot solidified, which they were at before the Yankees got real hot, before the Blue Jays got real hot, and pretty much the Red Sox been stable all year with the playoff spot. So, it's tough right now for the A's, but this is a good little start for them if they can go ahead and do something in this game. Now, the White Sox, on the other hand, is a team that I kind of don't like to trust when they're playing against some of the better teams in the league. They kind of fold under pressure. And since a lot of people think they play real well, but I've seen a lot of their games this year, and I've checked a lot of their stats. All their really, really good blowouts and all their really good games are against really bad teams, and they play in the worst division in all of baseball. The second place team is 13 games behind them. So, of course, you're going to have a lot of wins this season, and you're going to be looking good in those games against those teams. But when you're playing against the top tier teams in the American League, things are a little suspect. You know what I mean? So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out. But you got the White Sox as a slight dog tonight, and that's for good reason. But, you still can't really sleep on it. They got a pitcher that's kind of unknown, and Jimmy Lambert. Lambert only has had 3 appearances this year, and he's only pitched about 7 innings this year as well, too. So that's something you have to look at as well, that the pitcher is coming in a little inexperienced for this season. And, he's a guy that's been back and forth from the minor leagues and back up, but he doesn't stick around too long either. So we'll see how it goes. The A's really need this win tonight. The White Sox want to keep the flow going. They want to keep themselves in a good position tonight as well, too. So I think that all in all, this will be once again one of the better games of the night, and something that pretty much you'll get some good betting on as well, too. So we move forward, and we got a game, one of my under the radar games. This is the Rangers and the Diamondbacks, and I'm going to be pretty bold here. I really do like the Rangers in this spot today. I think the Rangers being a dog here against a team that has no reason being minus 160. I don't care what day it is, what team they're playing against. Arizona is not good at all to me. And so pretty much this game right here is, to me, somewhat of a stretch when you put them out as that big of a favorite today. And I think that, you go the other way and you take the Rangers, a team that, is a little bit better on the win side as well, too. But Spencer Howard has not pitched well this year, but that's fine. That's okay. He's going against a team that's not good. So Zach Gallen has been decent. He was pretty good in his last outing for how their team works. And pretty much he gave 5 hits, 3 earned runs, and struck out 4, walked 4. And this was against San Diego. Now, he did lose that game as well, too. So, pretty much trying to get that win back. And then you got Spencer Howard, a guy who pitched decent against Seattle somewhat, but, it seems like he's a spotty starter. And they had him pitch, it looks like, okay, he gave 5 hits in his last game, 5 earned runs as well, too. But he's still a very green pitcher. So we'll see how it goes today. The game before that, though, against Seattle on the 11th, he pitched very well. 3 strikeouts, no runs, and only gave up 2 hits. So, hopefully we can get the guy from August 11th and not the guy from August 19th. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out. But I do like the Rangers as the dog of the day. They're at plus 140 right now, but they did open up at plus 135. All right, so we move forward and we have ourselves the Angels at the Padres to end the night. And the Angels at the Padres is the nightcap game. And you got the Angels coming in here as a big dog, plus 260 tonight. And then you have the Padres who are minus 300 as well, too. So this should be a fun game between these two. You do have the Angels starting Packy Naughton tonight. Packy Naughton got a little lit up in his last game against New York last week. And we were able to see the Yankees get a good win off of that as well, too. But Packy Naughton is a big-time prospect that the Angels have been coveting for some time now. He's went to Virginia Tech. He was a pick in 2017, round 9, but he's been done so well in the minors, so they're looking forward to a big moment with him as well, too. Then you got Blake Snell. A lot of people feel like Blake Snell is having a down year. I would say that he's not having a down year. I would just say that sometimes you just get into a game, and I say this a lot, where you're pitching well, but you don't get any run support. And next thing you know, you go into an inning, you give 4 or 5 runs, but you've been pitching, Cy Young baseball the last 5 innings. It's just now you're tired and you kind of falling apart. And so I won't call you bad, but I will say that, you're not getting any help either. You know what I mean? So, Blake Snell, is a big for a playoff push if the Padres are to make the playoffs. But we all know it just really feels like whoever the second wild card team is in the National League, that they're just coming for a visit to either San Francisco or to Los Angeles for a hello and, for a hello and a goodbye. You know what I mean? And that's how a lot of us are feeling right now. So, at the end of the day, it's good to be the second wild card spot, but I kind of don't think it really matters here in the NL this year. So pretty much you do have a San Diego team, though, that is trying to stay afloat, trying to be right there. They've won their last 3 out of 5 games, while the Angels have dropped their last 3 out of 5. So this should be a good one tonight. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out. But I think that the Padres should be good money for you in this one as well, too. So with that, we will go ahead and get into something I really love to get into, and that's talking them tickets. And right now, let's see what the pick 6 is looking like for today. The pick 6 is looking real healthy for you. It's a 52-1 ticket. You got plus 1.5 on the Blue Jays in the spot in the Bronx, and then you have the under 88.5 with the Phillies and the Brewers, and then you have the over 9.5 with the Reds and the Cubs, and you have the A's money line minus 135. My dog of the day, the Rangers plus 140, and we end off the ticket with the Padres at minus 1.5, and that gives us a 52-1 ticket. And man, this should be a good ticket if it does hit, because it's a nice number. So you put 20 on it, you get back 10 folded. So you know what? Don't be shy. Don't hesitate. Go get your money. Try to make some money. We paying rent today if we hit. So, it is what it is. So pretty much we paying rent all the time because, if we ain't paying rent, then we doing this show on Skid Row. But thing is, no, we pay rent every month. So don't depend on these tickets to pay your rent. Make sure you got other hustles and things going on as well, too. All right. So pretty much I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in today. Always a pleasure. And, I'll be back tomorrow, and I'm doing double duty because the show will be on tomorrow as well. We still will have my man Mike Abadir coming in with us tomorrow as well, too, to talk some NFL and everything like that, talk some MLB as well, too. And then, we just go from there. But you guys make sure to tune in. NFL Bet Exchange will be live tomorrow. I will announce the time once me and Jeff talk a little bit. But pretty much most likely will be at 10 o'clock, no later than 10:30 tomorrow. And then we will move the show to Thursdays just to accommodate what it's going to look like for, Thursday night football and things like that. So we're not too early, so we can have us a fresh line into a fresh game that's not too far off to talk about. So with that, I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. Once again, I know I said it twice, but you guys are the absolute best. I just want to let you know that as well, too. So with that, this is the premier sports betting show, the Primetime Angles Live, with the one and only Pop DBIC, the Primetime Capper. If you got a hunch, bet a bunch. Always bet with your head, not with your heart. And I am gone.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media